Hello, my beautiful friends. This is Shireen Purewell with the BC Home Group, bringing you the latest real estate news that I know of and that I can inform you of. I just wanted to give a big shout out to my amazing supporters and listeners. I never realized that my podcast, I have fans on podcasts. So thank you to Trevor out there who listens to my podcast. Appreciate your feedback, and this video is for you. So what I want to do is provide information unedited. As you know, as you ask me, I just say straightforward what I know about the topic, and I encourage you to ask me, because the more I can inform you all, the more I can help you all make better decisions. I've done my job of putting out good karma out there to help people make the right choices based on the information that I can provide, and give you the tools that I have to help you make those informed decisions. All right, so Trevor, you had emailed me and you had asked, Shireen, what do you think about the Victoria market compared to the Vancouver market? The supply issue. I'm not sure if you asked about interest rates. That may have been someone else who had emailed me asking about that. But basically, what's my view about the Victoria market compared to the Vancouver and Toronto market? Because those markets, as we know, have taken off so much. So what is my view on this topic of Victoria compared to the rest of the major cities in Canada? Well, yesterday in the news, they were talking about how the Victoria rental market is stronger than Toronto. So our prices are equivalent to Toronto downtown prices for renting. And Vancouver's number one for the highest rental rates. Victoria was second and Toronto was third. So the fact that there's such a high demand for rent and rental prices are going up, sign right there that we have a supply issue. We have a supply issue for buyers. We have a supply issue for renters. We have an overall supply issue, okay? So that right there, Trevor is telling you that our investment market is wrong, because as an investor, if you buy a rental, you will get better rent return than elsewhere. Okay, well, you're equivalent, but it's strong. Demand is strong. Now, we are an island. We cannot make more land. We're a beautiful island, and not just any island. We're one of the most I've traveled a lot, and I will tell you, when I catch that flight back to Vancouver Island and I'm looking out that window, I say to myself, wow, this is heaven. Like, even when you catch the ferry in the summer and that ferry boat is going between the islands to Vancouver, I look at the islands and I'm just like, it's a dream. So on that point, and I'm biased, sorry, I live here, yes. But my point being that it's one of the most beautiful places in the world to live. It is beautiful. And other people who come here realize that, want to come live here too. And so I do believe prices will still increase. Demand is there. The thing that drives up the price of real estate is demand. It's as easy as that. Demand is there. If you live in Saskatchewan, you're dreaming of retiring in Victoria. A lot of them are. And actually, I've heard of quite a few Saskatchewan, and I love them, they're the friendliest, Saskatchewans moving out to Maple Bay's it was cheap because, you know, it was further out from Victoria. A lot of people have moved to Maple Bay, and the prices there have gone up. And I want to do a shout out to my Saskatchewan friends who I know 3 of them have moved out to Maple Bay, and they're awesome. So I just wanted to say that, yes, demand's increasing. Our prices will catch up. I do believe that, because wherever there's a gap, that gap eventually, they'll say, oh, well, it's cheaper than Vancouver. Why don't I sell my house in Vancouver and move to Victoria? It's only a 1-hour drive. They have an airport. They have all the infrastructure I need. I'm working from home. Let me live there and sell my home and make some money. I have lots of Vancouver people moving out to Victoria, lots. So that gap is demand goes up, and that gap just closes in between those other major cities as they move out here. And eventually what you're going to find is Victoria is going to be the same price, is going to have gone so much in price. Sorry, I can't talk right now. The prices would have increased so much here in Victoria that you'll find that eventually what will happen is people will then start moving to the next city. Nanaimo on Vancouver Island is change. It was a city where not a lot of people moved to. Like if they had the option, they always moved to Victoria. But now Nanaimo has taken off. The cities around Ladysmith, the cities around Nanaimo are taking off. So this to me is a sign that these gaps are all closing in. Prices are going up. Now, we are at all-time highs. I want to keep explaining this to my listeners. We're at all-time highs for inflation, for the debt market, for real estate market, for the stock market. It is crazy. Everything is hitting all-time highs. Does the world recognize these all-time highs? Absolutely. Are they starting to realize that we need to address this? Absolutely. So when I come and give you this information to say, yes, these gaps are closing in, if we continue status quo, these gaps will start closing in. We're going to see prices continue to rise. We've got limited supply. Listen, what do we need to survive? And I'll keep saying this in my previous video. We need food, we need energy, we need shelter. These three commodities you are going to see increase. It's as simple as that. Vancouver Island will go up in price. Now, what we're not realizing is these governments are saying, whoa, it's getting out of hand now. It's everything's at all-time highs. What can we do to bring this under control? Because what inflation means is saying your money is becoming, you need to print more, you need more money to buy what you used to buy. So the same thing applies to real estate, the same thing applies to your groceries. And in a way, it's a sign that your money's losing value. And governments don't want their money to lose value because they're saying you need more money to buy the same good. So what you're going to find is governments now are saying, how do I retain value of my currency? How do I get more control of my currency? How do I get more control back and stop this this pot bubbling over because things are just getting higher and higher and higher? Because at the same time, the wages will keep going up. Everything will have to go up along with it. And you're just going to find, you're going to find that that margin of that central banks always try to keep inflation within 2 to 3%. I think inflation realistically, if they accounted everything realistically, is 6% right now. We've doubled, is my personal opinion. But as per the indicators that they use, it's starting to push to the limit of what they have for central banks to keep inflation under control for. So when I tell you, if status quo things continue, it is going to keep increasing. It will. Now, what they're going to do, government's going to do to try to bring this under control is they're going to say, we need to put a stop to this. How can we put a stop to this? And what are the tools that we can use to put a stop to this? One of the tools being interest rates. This is a debt-fueled market. Money is super cheap right now. They're going to increase interest rates. Will they do it drastically at once? No. It will be gradual. Will we see the effects immediately? Probably slightly. Will we see prices fall immediately? No. Will that gap continue to shrink? Yes. How long do I expect that for? 2 years? And again, for me to look at my crystal ball and tell you exactly what's going to happen, no one can do that. I just go off of what I'm seeing, patterns, and statistics. If we continue status quo, yes, that gap's closing in. As long as you have to monitor what the banks are doing right now, central banks. The world is kind of recognizing that these all-time highs in all these areas are out of control, and we need to address it. Do I say don't buy real estate? Like I said, you need 3 things. It's like saying don't buy food. Just be careful what overpriced food and what you're paying for food, and be cognizant. Like I tell people, if you want to get in the market, location, location, location. No matter what happens in the short run, long run, if you buy in a good location, it's recession proof is what I say. Maybe it'll stabilize in the bad times, but it will always long term go up. So those fundamentals do still apply. I'm not saying you're going to need shelter, you're going to need food, and you're going to need energy, heat. So if you need to buy in this market, buy. What I would personally get into is a good product and a good location. We can talk more about that. And as far as rent, I don't see more rental supply coming on. So for investors, I do encourage investments in condos, especially the 1 or 2 bedroom condos downtown Victoria. I think they've still got catching up to do, especially with City of Victoria, where they do not want more supply. They want to preserve the whole balance of the beauty of, the original Victoria, and not have this huge commercialized downtown Victoria with high rises. So they're kind of not allowing too much development there. So I do think it's good to buy downtown Victoria, and prices will still increase, especially in condos. There's a few condo pre-sale projects that I've been telling people I think they will do well. And your rent will always cover your back on that front, because the capital city of British Columbia is Victoria. I don't know if everyone knew that, but it is. And so we have a lot of government jobs there. We have a lot of tourism on the island as well. It is a beautiful island. What do I think about these variants? That's another topic. But anyways, that's my 2 cents, guys. I like to talk. So if you have any topics you want to send my way, send it my way. And most of all, I like to talk, but I like to talk to help all of you make the right decisions. Love you all, and be safe, take care, and stay in touch. All the best, guys.